Welcome to Spiritual Awakening family. Is this an earthquake? Has lightning struck nearby? The intensity of the light behind my closed eyes is brilliant, and the room is shaking in a way we native Californians interpret as an earthquake. Slowly, a growing awareness begins to register on my conscious mind. I live in Hawaii, where earthquakes and lightning are rare occurrences. What is going on? I wondered, though I had been trying to focus on the woman lying before me on the massage table during a healing session in my living room. The golden light shining behind my eyes was awakening my curiosity. Allowing my eyes to open to a slit at first, they popped wide when I observed the radiant visitor at the foot of my table. The source of the room's unnerving quakes was a glowing figure standing in golden light, with wings so large they reached beyond the ceiling. Remembering my client happily breathing deeply on the table, I resisted the impulse to scream and fall backwards. I needed to stay calm so I would not cause her alarm. My mind was racing, as the emanations of power from this winged being streamed across the room. "Who are you?" I ventured in a silent whisper to the glowing apparition. A booming voice in my mind answered, "I am Archangel Michael." I looked again at the radiant figure blocking my view of Diamond Head and the ocean beyond. I gazed up at the being whose wings were as wide as the patio door before they disappeared through the ceiling in gold light. I could feel the molecules in my body rearranging themselves. I was being called into an unfamiliar realm, and if I had not already been on my knees, they would have buckled. My client sighed, and I came back into the present moment. It was time to complete our session of the healing work I had been doing for years. My last thought to the one who said he was Archangel Michael could best be interpreted as, "Right, thank you for sharing, but I'm busy now." My conscious mind felt as if it were turning flips. There was no reference in my background that included angels. I had no church upbringing as a child. As an adult, I studied a Hindu tradition that cautioned against being lost in visions that may represent the distracting illusions of the ego rather than true spirituality of the heart. The likelihood of an archangel appearing in my living room was too overwhelming for my rational mind to contain, and I felt intimidated by that massive angelic presence threatening to rock my world. As I helped my client to sit up, she commented on how well she felt while noticing the breathing problems, which had brought her to my table, had disappeared. I never mentioned my celestial visitor. I also did not say anything to my husband later in the day, since he had already made a reference to the confusion he experienced with my esoteric side. It appeared that I might have finally gone around that mental bend in the road to the place my family was sure I had been heading for many years. Yes, I was a wanderer on the path of higher consciousness, an explorer of spiritual belief systems, metaphysical truth seeker, and what some called a hippie. Never mind the fact that it was now 1988 and I was over 40. And still wondering what I was going to be when I grew up. I knew that I had a path to follow and that my work needed a spiritual purpose to feel meaningful. I just did not know the form this calling was going to take. So I had been making prayerful entreaties to the universe. The visitations from Archangel Michael continued for the next year during the most intense sessions of my healing work. I kept up the prayers for my soul's purpose to be fulfilled, and pretended not to notice the large winged being in my living room. Clients often commented on the radiant glow of golden light, but I never acknowledged the source of that radiance. I did not try to engage him in conversation, and just kept scrambling to find a grounding place in the material world of Honolulu. After years of ashram living, a visitation from an archangel was not fitting even my wildest plans for a clue to my vocation in life. Looking back, I can acknowledge the shift in my healing work with the arrival of Archangel Michael. The vibrational frequencies in my form of body work had taken a great leap, but I was still too intimidated to explore the meanings behind the gift of Archangel Michael's presence. I could focus on the profound light enhancing my work, but could not reconcile an angel in my already emotionally turbulent world. It was most likely the attention I was giving to my emotional state that hindered my exploration of the mystery of an archangel's presence in my life. During this time, questions about my marriage rampant. This personal upheaval mirrored the great changes on the world stage. After the harmonic convergence in 1987, the structure of the USSR collapsed, the Berlin Wall was torn down, and it seemed as though the structures I had been so sure of, on many levels, were now crumbling. Though often confusing, it was also a heady time as the realization of possibilities for peace on Earth and new beginnings of global awareness for environmental action became more prevalent. My husband and I discussed divorce and made a decision to not only stay together, but to buy a condo on the windward side of Oahu. This was possibly our version of a couple having a baby to stay together. Obviously, a new house provided even more distractions to keep me from exploring the world of the angelic realms. Archangel Gabriel provides emotional support. Finally, in 1990, while meditating in my new living room, the now familiar golden light flooded the field behind my eyes, only this time my heart felt like it was melting into a pool of love. The angel standing before me was nearly faceless in the bright light, and once again, his wings arched grandly beyond the cathedral ceiling. This time his eyes drew me to him in a new way, and I felt no fear. I heard him say he was Archangel Gabriel, and that he had a message for me. He proceeded to give me a series of exercises that allowed me to receive inspired communication from a light-filled world of love and compassion. These messages soothed my emotional bruises, filled me with hopefulness and a deep inner peace. For years I wrote from this inspired place during my meditation times, filling journals with wisdom and truth. I found that these beautiful messages provided a profound level of emotional support. Still, I was quiet about these experiences, rarely sharing the information. When I did, my friends were very positive and encouraged me to create an outlet for this work. I decided to print small inspirational message cards. When I asked Archangel Gabriel what I should call them, I was told, "Angel Messages." He then informed me that the name of my new business was to be Angelic Dimensions. Then one of my friends showed me the cover of Time magazine from December 1993. Since I did not read newspapers or watch the news, I was astonished that a national well-respected magazine would have a beautiful angel emblazoned on its cover, with the caption, "The New Age of Angels." 69% of all Americans believe in angels. What in heaven is going on? The angel trend had officially begun. The world was finally ready to hear what the angels had to communicate, and many would make mega bucks on corny angel trinkets. In 1994, my first advertisement to launch the Angel Messages card sets was mailed to New Age retail shops in the form of a flyer that said, "Help from above for your bottom line." Out of 4,000 mailings, I received 400 orders, an amazing 10% return, and my new work in the world had been revealed to me. I was out of the metaphysical closet, admitting that I not only could see angels, they were talking to me. Just when did you think you would need faith? For 4 years, I had a wonderful small business dedicated to inspiring people with messages from Archangel Gabriel and bringing peace to earth. In retrospect, it also would have been useful to ask for a profit from the angelic dimensions for my very earthly company. In 1999, after my business went into bankruptcy and we lost our home, my appendix burst, a divorce was imminent, I was in a car accident and menopause arrived. I would remember ruefully the guidance at the beginning of that fateful year. Just when did you think you would need faith? Angelic humor was reminding me that it is easy to have faith when things are going well, but having faith in that which is unseen when life is not feeling too graceful, is really the key to happiness. During the painful time that followed, I knew I was being guided through the unknown. but only a step at a time. Beginning at age 56, I spent most of 7 years without a home base, house-sitting or traveling to look for an area that felt like home to me. I did not live anywhere for more than a few months at the most. By this time, most of the material belongings I still possessed needed to be released so I could travel more lightly. It was unsettling and painfully difficult to look to the future or to the past. I was being forced to live in the present moment, something all the masters have been coaching for centuries. I had to recognize that in the present time, I had a roof over my head and I was okay. It had to be enough that I was warm and fed, no matter what my desires were. There was a visceral need to have tremendous faith that my deepest needs would be met, and my soul's purpose was being realized, no matter how it looked. I had dedicated my life to God's service, and this intention continued. Though it felt like I was lost and abandoned, I realize now that I was never really alone, and that I was taken care of and guided every step of the way. Now 10 years later, I have used some of the messages I received from Archangel Gabriel and put them into a book published in February 2008 called The Gabriel Messages. In 2010, I produced a companion card set, The Gabriel Message Cards. I'm receiving messages from Archangel Gabriel again on a regular basis, and they have found a new creative abode through my website. Though my life has taken some interesting turns, I am happier than I have ever been. Consider an archangel in your life. I believe that Archangel Michael was the advance courier for my work in the world. He has never been more available for those people who feel like they are becoming spiritual warriors. As we work together with others to anchor more divine light on the planet, it brings the energy of heaven to earth, leading to spiritual evolution. The archangels are available now in a way they have never been in recent history, if only people are willing to listen. The earth has been receiving unprecedented angelic light and healing energy that can bring encouragement and support to the hearts of all beings. The power available from the angelic realms strengthens our core spiritual energy so we can stand up for the truths we believe in, and bring greater understanding and positive change into our lives. The love the angels offer can provide depth and meaning to hearts that are starving in a world where overemphasis on the material is the norm. The angels are here to open doors to a refined state of truth and uplift our hearts and minds. With the help of the angelic dimensions, we can connect to the childlike spirit within each of us, and offer hope to the confused adult within us in need of direction. I truly believe we are in the midst of an evolutionary shift, allowing us to bring value into our personal lives, more interest in peace to all hearts in the world, and healing for the environment. We have been gifted with a magnificently beautiful planet, and have the opportunity to serve the creator of this earth with the profound support of the angelic realms. Perhaps you will consider a visitation in your life. Try inviting an archangel into your living room. You may be surprised at the blessings that take place. Shanta Gabriel. I hope you like the video. Welcome to your channel. Don't forget to check out the other